Yo, yo, what is going on out there in the beautiful world? What's good? It's your boy Hood. I'm just hitting y'all up real quick because I want to holler at y'all about this dope movie that I saw. I checked it out. I know that y'all probably heard about this movie by now, and it's called Karen. It's dope. It was directed by a dude named Coke Daniels. It was written, produced, and directed by a dude named Coke Daniels. I heard his name before. The director wasn't really familiar with his work prior to this film. I just heard his name. I know he's kind of good at it. I know he's good because after you see this movie, Karen, you're gonna really get a chance to see how good this guy is. Karen, the movie, and I want y'all to like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff too. So let's get into it. So the movie was about this lady who is living in a certain neighborhood, like a upscale neighborhood outside of Atlanta. So you got a black couple that move into the house next door to her, and that's when all hell break loose. So the lady basically is a like a stay-at-home mom. You know what I'm saying? She's apparently some girl who played on Orange is the New Black, the Karen girl. It's a short little white lady, and the black guy, Omari Corey Harding, I think his name is. I think he married to one of those twin girls who used to be on like Disney or Nickelodeon or something like that. So to make a long story short, he they moved next door. So this lady, she immediately started talking to them and getting to know them and trying to bring herself as a neighbor. You know how white people are. They want to be a neighbor. They want to talk to you, get to know you. So, but initially, when he first opened this movie, the very first scene you see is a white lady scraping up the sign that says Black Lives Matter. Somebody wrote it on the ground, like in chalk, like maybe some kids, and she's out there washing it off, throwing water down and washing it off with a broom, you know, like a street sweeper. So that's the first thing you see before even the credits even run. And then it's to keep you in the mindset of what's going on. And this dude is a director, man. This boy Cole, written. I'm talking about one of the best written movies you're gonna see in 2021. Just to keep the story in line with what it is, to keep the pace of the movie going, and the way he kept everybody having a strong character. Like this is one of the best casted films too, because everybody did a good job as far as acting out this movie and playing this character. This is a small film. It looked like BET was the ultimate producer of this movie. You also had that lawyer, Ben Crump. He was an executive producer on this movie. Corey Hardick was a producer on this movie. I think that's probably his first producing credit. Not sure, but it looked like it, especially on this level. So, but it was such a good movie, and you definitely got to see it. So we start off with the lady getting to know them, and then as she get to know them, she starts saying those gnarly statements and stuff like that. Most times when people do things like that, you'll be kind of like, because you don't want to get into a confrontation or argument with somebody, especially a neighbor or somebody. You just kind of let that stuff happen, and you move on with your life. You don't take it too personal. But over time, it keep happening. She keeps coming over to the house and asking him stuff. Then she makes a move on the husband, trying to get at him. You know what I'm saying? Which is Corey Harding, and then he ain't with it. He tell his wife. The wife go and confront her. Then her kid end up. He's like a teenager. He end up watching them having sex through the window of his bedroom, and then the mother finds that out. So they have a little conversation about that, trying to not be stressful about it, you know. But when the husband went inside the house, he saw this KKK stuff, this Confederate flag information that she had, and all this stuff like that around her crib. So he eventually they say they like just gonna kind of like not make it so big a deal that they like be living next to a KKK. We immediately meet the white lady's brother. He's a cop. So, you know, we know now that she got a cop in the family, so it'd be easy for her to call the police on somebody. And they show her telling some black dudes inside like a little cafe, yo, I don't want y'all sitting here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta go. And the guy's like, what the hell? And I'm sorry, she said, I don't want y'all too loud to while y'all sitting here. And if y'all keep doing it, I'm just gonna tell the police, tell the manager. So she's carrying people throughout the movie. And I always think about dudes that's married to a white lady. I'm like, could you imagine being married to a chick that's like this? I mean, your woman. I mean, like, and that's your girl. Like, you love her. She's your white girl. You finally got one. And that's what she do all the time, is carry motherfuckers. And you got to deal with this. She been carrying you at the crib. You know what I'm saying? But this is like some shit you've been handling. And so it's like, damn. So make a long story short, she get back to the crib and she still started shit with them. She kick over their garbage cans. She just keep trying to keep up drama with them, saying little smart shit. Then she said, "Hey, you know, can I come to your house?" Yeah, the black girl and them having a housewarming party. They've been in the house maybe a month or two, and now she's like invite herself. I just come over. I just bring something over. She come over. She see a bunch of black folks in her crib, and you know they all hanging around. The black dude who she got kicked out the store earlier in the movie. He's there. He's like, man, bro, that's the lady who got kicked me out, who kicked me in, bro, out that goddamn store a few days ago. And dude, like, man, just chill, man. This is my crib. Don't make no drama. So they like, okay, cool. So they sitting around chilling. They get to talking about a shooting that they heard about. Then she get to talking about some All Lives Matter. The white lady get to talking about some All Lives Matter and why y'all tripping. And black people always got a problem with stuff. And so they like, they like, who is this lady? Why you talking foul to us? Like, what is this? Like, why is this lady able to say this ill shit to us? You know what I'm saying? And she's being foul towards them verbally. And just talking her opinion, how, well, I think white people should, and Black Lives Matter, all this stupid shit she's saying. And y'all should go back to Africa if y'all don't like how it is in America. All this wicked shit. So they're like, you got to get out of our crib. And then immediately they ready to move. Now they like, we can't let next to this KKK bitch. She's like in our face, around us, all the time. And so eventually, she stops some, the white Karen bitch, she stops some dudes in the street, like some young dudes who's minding their business, just kicking and walking down the street. And then hey, what y'all doing here? Let me see your ID. Who lives in this neighborhood? And they like, bitch, get your dumb ass out of our face. And then they end up starting to film her. And put her on the video, and she goes viral for being a Karen towards them. And so one of the kids got this big, powerful lawyer daddy, and he like, I'm finna sue the fucking everybody, the homeowner association. I'm coming at everybody. You know what I'm saying? So she all on the news. She don't care. She at the crib like, who gives a fuck? See, certain white people, and this is what I like about this movie, was showing that certain white people don't have nothing to lose. They're not going to lose friends. They're not going to lose a job. They're not going to lose their house. They're not going to lose nothing. They're just going to be an asshole towards you being a Karen, and it's not necessarily really going to affect them in a negative way. And so that's another thing that I like that this movie played on. So eventually she gets sued, and then the black couple goes through some more drama with her. So they actually go to the lawyer themselves, that black lawyer they saw on TV, and they was like, yo, the lady of the family was like, yo, I'm the one who filmed them boys getting attacked by that white lady, and I sent you the video. So I want you to be our lawyer so we can sue that same lady. And he was like, damn, that same lady bothering y'all too. They was like, yeah. So he went and started, the lawyer uncovered a lot of information about that woman and her brother. And come to find out that they father was killed by a black dude who was like one of them crazy dudes, running around, grabbed a gun or whatever, and he shot the father. So he died, and then from that point on, the brother and sister just been on the rampage towards blacks, and it's just what it is. So if you move next to them, if you got something to do with them, they just on your ass as a black person. It's like that. If you got a job, if you work with certain whites, they're not going to be friendly to you. They're not going to be cool with you. They are all lives matter, and that's what it is. And it's going to be damn your ass like it or not. So they ready to fight too, just like you ready to fight. They be ready to fight. So that's what so these people happen to be those kind of white people, and they seriously do not fuck with black people. So eventually, uh, the white lady just flipped. You know what I'm saying? She go get, they end up setting up the husband and making sure he had like a drug case on him, and arresting him for guns and all kind of shit. And so, the white lady go get her gun out her crib, and she just go over there to go kill the black lady. And this is like the end of the movie, basically. When she goes over there to try to murder the black lady got to fight her. It was really intense. The ending of this movie is so motherfucking good, man, to me. It was amazingly good because I couldn't predict that part. The way he designed the ending, it was so good, man. What a good fucking ending. So he ended up she ended up having to fight the white lady off, and then the whole time you saw that brother of hers was a killer. So he was not gonna play no games when it came to black. So he showed up on the set on a moment when the black girl Hackett finally got shot by the white lady, and then she's ready to kill the white lady, kill the black lady. But eventually, the partner of the white cop came, and the whole time throughout the movie, he wasn't really feeling all of this being aggressive towards black shit. So he didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And so he kept telling the main older cop, which is the brother, like, yo, you should chill with this. This is not right. And he was like, look, rookie, shut the fuck up and follow what the hell I'm telling you. So he had to do that. So eventually, they had a big to do, and the cops had a shootout. The sister had a shootout with the girl. It was really intense, man. And y'all got to see this movie, man. And obviously the black girl prevailed. You know what I'm saying at the end, and the ending is just really dope. How they twisted that thing around and made it very impacting with action. I mean, it is very good. So to me, and especially with a movie like this, where it's actually the pulse of the country, it's the pulse of the city. It's like what's happening. It's in every town. You know, it's this underlying fear that you could run into one of these people, because we already know that if we respond negatively, if we do something, they're gonna throw the book at you. You're a black person. You're not gonna get off. You're not gonna be like, it's okay. Hey, he made a mistake. No, you will be sitting down for a minute, and that person gonna come in there with 10 Bibles under their arm, talking about how they was going to be the next doctor to solve cancer, and you fucked up their future. So you will be probably knocked out the world for years to come. So it just deep. It was just very deep seeing it, man. I liked it. I liked how they twisted the story around. I liked how the guy wrote the movie. He had a super duper cast. I'm telling you, the best actors in the game was in this movie. This is a top flight movie. Um, the cinematography was amazing. They shot it very well. How it was very well put together. Like you could tell that this was very concise. These guys did not play around. They came to show a good movie. They didn't want you to get caught up in none of the cinematics. They didn't want to do nothing that was going to make you forget that their story was about the intense story of a Karen being around some black people. And I also like that how in the back of the movie towards the end, they had a speech from Ben Crump, and he was almost like the lawyer that gives that speech after the fact when these people have done what they've been dealing with, and they've given them the money from their suit. He was talking at that point, and he had gave some great words towards what was going on. You know, he does that now. He's like the Martin Luther King dude. And to see him as executive producer on this movie, I was shocked by that. Like, damn, I didn't even know he cared for cinema and stuff like that. But this is in line with his work. You know, Karens and whites attacking blacks. It's like his whole world. So it was a good movie, and they kept it black. It had a lot of black themes in there, a lot of African American stuff. They talked about Swahili. They talked about different Ethiopian artifacts that you saw in the movie. It was good. This is a movie for black people that you're gonna love. And that white girl who played Karen, man, hats off for that lady. This did that lady call. I'm telling you, man. I never seen Orange Is the New Black, not one show. I never seen it. So all I know about this lady is this movie. And my lady's like, no, that's the lady, blah blah blah. Her name, this, that, and the third in the show. And I'm like, okay, I never saw it. But I mean, when I tell you that lady was the Karen of the year, man, she played this character. She really did solidify this character as giving it a personification. You know, we see Karens, we see a blurb of them on the news, we see a blurb of them in these little videos. You might even see a I'm sorry video in prime time or something like that. But at the end of the day, you don't really get the chance to know who these people are. And this story was like the background of those women. You know, like even though it might not be true for every woman, but it was just like how it could be generalized. Like, yo, she live out here, she's suburban, there's no crime in her neighborhoods. They watch everything thing that come up the block, next door neighbors, they put cameras around the house. It's like they really are diligent about being assholes and setting themselves up so you can't penetrate the area. And she even kept saying it in the movie. As soon as my father moved, well, when the blacks moved into our neighborhood, the whole thing went down. I mean, they literally kept all the stereotypes that we're familiar with and used to, and they played them in this movie. It was almost like a jumping jacks or of complete stereotypes that we all familiar and used to. That's why I said it was real good for him to be able to touch on all of those, to even see it. You know, some people can't see these things. Some people visual, just like when a boy did the movie Get Out. There's many people who wrote movies. There's many people who made films, but nobody talked on and touched on that little sinister feeling of going into some white people's homes, dating their daughter, and then they may have a malicious thought about you. You just thinking like, hey, it's family. I'm a nice guy. I go to school, you know. But it's like, no, motherfuckers probably got some malicious mindset about your ass too. And I think that's what this movie was. As innocent as the black couple was, they just live next door. They not bothering nobody. They don't fucking need nothing from nobody. Somebody else is hunting them down on their head. Like, look, I'm tired of this. I don't want you here. I'm gonna make your fucking life miserable. And we see that. I know you saw the white guy. in New Jersey who was harassing some family, and the guy was out there yelling at him. Eventually, the entire fucking black community from that area in New Jersey came and stood in front of his house until the police had to escort him out, and people just pulverized all kind of shit at him and threw things at him. That's exactly what goes on. That's what's happening in the world. So for the guy to be able to touch on these points and be able to articulate them into a cinematic storytelling was amazing. So from now on, I'm a fan of that woman. I don't really know her name, the main character, but you will know her name because you're familiar with her. And the guy, Coke Daniels, who wrote, directed, I'm a fan of his as well. The young lady who played the girlfriend or wife, her name is Burke or something like that. I'm a fan. I've never seen her in stuff before. She's probably been in a lot of shit, but I haven't seen her myself. And Corey Harding, what I have seen him in a few projects. I met him actually at a film festival in Chicago a few years back. So I know he'd be on his grind filmmaking wise. So it's just great to see how this movie came together. I'm glad BET was behind this project and they didn't like look at it and say, no, we're not putting this out. But they was able to say, yo, you know what? Let's do it. And so all of that was great to see. So I want y'all to check this movie out. Is some spoilers in this video, obviously. So, if you haven't seen it, you might not want to listen to this yet. But if you did, you already know what I'm talking about now. So I'm going to get up off of here. Y'all like and subscribe. Go check that movie out. Karen, it's dope and you're going to like it. Like and subscribe. How?